Who's ready for story time with NASCAR Josh 05, baby? Nice little Adam Cole reference. What is going on, everyone? NASCAR Josh 05 here, and today I wanted to do something just a little bit different. As you can see, I'm going to be talking about a particular Formula One game. This is Formula One 2005. Of course, it came out in 2005. And I have a very interesting story about this game, so you're probably wondering why I'm making a whole video about this. Well, around 2013 or 14, I started to become an F1 fan. I've always been a NASCAR fan. That's all I ever really cared about. That's all I really liked. And I say recently, but then I started, once I graduated high school or around that time, I started to become really interested in Formula One. I started watching all the races, and then I got interested in playing the games. So back in that time, I wasn't really I've never really been tech savvy, but I especially wasn't back then. I was much younger, and I was looking at F1 games for the PS2 on Amazon, and I came across Formula One 2005, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun, because I really had been into the Formula One Championship Edition for the PS3, and that represents the 2006 season. So I'm like, oh, I definitely got to give this a try. So I ordered the game. It came to my came to my house, actually. I lived in a house at the time. Came to my house. I put it into my PS2, and I got the red screen of death. And I'm like, where it says, please insert a PlayStation or a PlayStation 2 disc. And I'm like, oh crap, what do I do now? So I didn't really know what to do. So I did some research and, I tried to look it up. I looked at the disc and it was fairly clean. The game came in pretty good condition, as you saw at the beginning of the video. That's my original copy. So I did some research and tried to figure it out. Well, come to find out, I learned that PS2 is region locked. So you cannot play, you cannot play a PAL PS2 game you cannot play a European game on your United States PlayStation 2. And that's where I learned about the region codes. So Formula One 05, the copy that I have, is a PAL version game. And the American version is NTSC. Well, obviously I am American, and I have an NTSC PS2. And you cannot play a PAL game on your NTSC PS2. Didn't know that, so I was kind of bummed about that. And I never returned it, I just kept it. So I had the game for a long time. It just sat really in my game shelf, as you've seen, and I wasn't able to play it. I couldn't really figure out why, and I tried ways to figure out how to play it, and I realized I was either going to have to buy a PAL PS2, which I didn't want to do, or try something else. I couldn't really figure out what. But then I started getting into emulators. Once I got my computer and I got my Xbox Series S, I started figuring out how to, well, I downloaded the game on the internet, which I probably shouldn't have done, but anyway, I found the game online, I found the ISO image, and finally, after all these years, I was able to play the game, and it's actually one of my favorite F1 games. I really enjoy it. And here, this race you're going to see is I'm driving as Felipe Massa in his home Grand Prix, which is the Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos. Sorry in advance for my terrible driving in this video. I was trying to drive decently here. The AI would stop in front of me and I'd slam into him. But anyway, so after all these years, I finally got to play it. It's a really good game. I've really enjoyed it. I guess this is also kind of a review if you want to get technical, but yeah, the game is really good. It's a lot of fun. The one thing I will say is, especially if you're on controller, I would set the sensitivity to low, because high sensitivity is just a little twitchy. That's one thing about this game I noticed is, because I've played all the Studio Liverpool F1 games now, and I have Formula One 2001. Thankfully, there's an American version of that game, so I have that as well, a physical copy. But I did notice that from Formula One 2001 to 2004, the handling was really twitchy and it just felt really odd. But Formula One 2005 is finally where they updated the handling, and it kind of feels like a early version of Championship Edition, so for the PS3. And yeah, it feels so much better to drive. It's still not perfect, but you know, it's better to drive than the first four PS2 games from Studio Liverpool. But it's a good game. It's a great experience. If you know if you have a PS2 emulator and you want to give this a go, I highly recommend it. I'm just so glad that I finally got to play it because I never thought I'd get to. You know, I never thought that I would get the chance to play this game. I really wanted to play it. I was so bummed. And yeah, I finally figured it out. And I had looked at emulators before, but I just never messed with it because they look way too complicated. But if you find the right setup guide on YouTube, you can usually figure it out. So, excuse me. But anyway, so yeah, I'm really glad I got to play it. Haven't really touched the career mode. I just like to do quick races, but racing with the AI is fun. I had it on medium difficulty here, and it's usually pretty decent. Like the AI are still a little slow. I probably could have got away with hard difficulty, but I wanted to stick with medium and, you know, wanted to get a decent finish out of the game. If I play this game enough, probably could up the difficulty to hard if I really wanted to. But overall, it's a great game and I've enjoyed it. And speaking of my physical copy at the beginning, so another thing I wanted to mention with my story is even though I get to play it on my Xbox Series S and my computer, I wanted to figure out because I just recently installed PS3 Hen, which is a homebrew enabler, and I had seen that you could back up your physical PS2 and your physical PS3 games. I'm not sure about PS1, but I think you can back those up too. As I hit the wall there, that was nice. Car didn't want to turn. But anyway, so I figured out that you could do that. You could back up your physical games to your PS3. So I'm like, oh, well, I have this physical copy of F105. Let me see if I can back it up. So I found a tutorial on YouTube, and long story short, I got it backed up to my PS2, and I can kind of play it. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get through a race where it doesn't freeze. I'm not sure why it freezes. It must be the PS2 emulator on the PS3. I looked it up and it said it was playable, so I'm not really sure what the problem is there. But the good news is I can play it on my PS3, sort of, now. So I have multiple ways to play it now, and I now know about the region codes, so I'm more aware of that now. But at the time, I was much younger, and I had no idea that there was such a thing as... I didn't even think to look at what country it was from or whatever, but as I almost spin out coming out the last corner there. Yeah, late in the race, I think my tires were worn, because every time I break into a corner, my car would want to spin out. But anyway, so I'm really glad that I got to finally play this game, and I now have multiple ways to play it, and it's really awesome. And I highly, like I said, I highly recommend, if you're a Formula One fan, I highly recommend giving this game a go. It's really worth your time, and it sounds really good too. It's got the V10 F1 cars. This is the last year of the V10 engines before they switched to V8 engines. So yeah, that corner right there, I kept spinning out for some reason when I go into the corner, and I don't really know why that is. But anyway, we're about to make a pit stop here, and the interactive pit stops are pretty cool, although there was no tire changes in 2005. The FIA and Formula One, they outlawed tire changes, so you can only refill your car, which is kind of crazy to me to think that they did that, you know. It's kind of like if you had a NASCAR race and you couldn't make pit stops. It's like it's just part of the spectacle. It's part of the show. So yeah, it was really crazy that they outlawed pit stops. But here we go. We're gonna make the pit stop here. This is a 10% race as I slam into the back of Montoya, which was nice. But now I'll just commentate on this race. We'll finish it out here. I was hoping Montoya wouldn't pit, so I didn't have to try to follow him into the pits. But thankfully he stayed out, and I was able to make my pit stop here. And we're gonna make our way in. I went a little slow there. I thought the AI was gonna take over my car, but I slowed down a bit too much there. But here we go for the pit stop, and let's see what I can do. It's still gonna be a short pit stop because there's no tire changes. So that's the McLaren right there in the pits behind me. But let's take a look at how I do. You pretty much just press circle and square is the only two buttons you push. But yeah, I delayed a little bit there. It wasn't my fastest pit stop, but it works, and it's the best I could do for the moment there. But we exit the pits here, and I'm in 13th place. Going to try to gain some spots back. I have some cars up ahead of me that need to pit, so I'm going to catch them up as well. Yeah, a really great race, and It definitely reminds me of F1 Championship Edition. It seems to remind me more of the handling of that game. I still cannot get through that corner. It's really sensitive for some reason, but coming down to the end of the race, and just going to see what we can do here. We're in 13th place. Of course, some other cars have to pit as well, so we'll catch them up eventually. I could get through the other corners just fine, but for some reason, that one particular corner, my car just spins out. I think that's turn 3 or 4. I don't know if there's an actual corner name for that particular corner, but coming up on the end of the lap here, we just have a few laps to go. And yeah, 13th place. I'm sure I lost a little bit of time being stuck behind Montoya and then trying to get into the pits. So here we go onto the front straightaway. We're in 13th. Let's see where we can get up to here. Got the oil flag. As we see, we have an engine blown. I think that's David Coulthard is what the announcer said. But we're up to 12th now, and we jump up to 4th place. That's a huge jump. Now 5th place. I think Raikkonen's ahead of me now. Yeah, I think that's Raikkonen coming out of the pits in his McLaren as well. So we're in 5th place, going to try to hunt down Raikkonen here. Still got the oil flag there at the right corner of your screen. I guess from Coulthard blowing his engine, there's still some oil on the track. I can't believe they race with oil on the track. That's crazy. In NASCAR, that's an immediate caution right there. Okay, now we're behind Montoya. Okay. But I think Montoya ended up blowing his engine later on, because after I passed him, the announcer said, like, oh yeah, Montoya is out of the race now, and I'm like, oh crap, I just passed him too. Just a couple of laps to go. I believe there'll be 2 laps to go this time, coming up this next time. Trying to get past Montoya here. Gonna see if we can do that here. So I guess it's Montoya and Raikkonen are the 2 guys ahead of me. I take it a little more cautiously this time to get past Montoya. We'll see if we can overtake him on the front stretch. Let's get that slipstream here. Looks like we're just going to catch up to him here. Go through the oil slick once again. But here we go, down the front stretch. We're doing a little bit of slipstream, and we're going to go down the inside. And we're going to take the spot. We're up into 4th place. So now I believe Raikkonen is ahead of me now in his McLaren. So we're going to try and catch him. We're going to try to see if we can get Felipe Massa a podium in his home race. Of course, he won the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix and thought he'd won the championship, but, you know, is that Glock, Timo Glock, factored into that? Make a mistake once again. That same corner got me every time. We still held off Montoya, so now we're still going to try to catch Raikkonen into the double right-hander here. Try to get Raikkonen through this middle section here. I got through here pretty good. It was a pretty good section for me. We close up on Raikkonen as I go a little wide into the grass. That's nice. But we come into the hairpin here, and we're right behind Raikkonen. So if we could just wait till the front stretch, we should be able to get him here. Go into the final corner. We stay back here so I can get a slipstream. I could have probably dove to the inside, but we probably would have wrecked. Can we get Massa his first podium? We're going to come down to the white flag, and we're going to see what we can do. We're getting the slipstream. We might just be a little bit too far back. I think we are. We are just a little bit too far back. We're going to go into the first corner here, see if I can get him on the straight here coming up. I don't get the best exit here, but we're still close here. Can we get him down? Now the next corner coming up here is the one that I had trouble with, but we're going to see if I can get through it this time. We're still not close enough to pass Raikkonen yet, so I take it easy. I try not to brake and turn, and we successfully get through the corner, so that's good to know. And now I can easily try to get him. He covers the inside to try to defend, but I kind of fake to the outside there. And we get Raikkonen, and we're up into 3rd place. We're in the podium. Now I just have to stay on the track and not go off or crash or anything. Looks like 3rd place is the best we're going to do. I don't know who's in 2nd. I think it's a Renault. Might be Alonso, possibly, or Fisichella. So we make our way through the hairpin one last time, and we're almost to the finish. Pretty good race, I gotta say. And I really hope you guys and gals enjoyed my little F1 story and gameplay here. I'm really grateful that I got to play it after all these years. It's a great game. And yeah, let me know what you think. Have you played F1 05 before? And let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you recommend the game? Let me know in the comments what you think of this game. And yeah, we crossed the line and we're up into P3. Oh, a Ferrari won, maybe it looks like. We'll see here in a second who won the race. I let this footage go so I could get a thumbnail. But anyway, waiting for the race to complete, waiting for everyone to finish, and let's see who finished where here in a second. It could have been a Ferrari 1-2, possibly. I think Schumacher did actually win this race. I thought the Renaults were ahead of me, but maybe not. Let's see. We will see here shortly who won the race. Eventually. Well, eventually we'll see it. Still waiting. And then he... Oh, wow. Bumps over the curb there a little bit. And we're coming down to the end. Here we go. So Michael Schumacher and Barrichello won. So it was a Ferrari 1-2. So hope you all enjoyed the video, everyone, and take care.